how long does probate take, and how can you keep probate expenses down? Well, first of all, I'm talking to you about Washington law. So that's one of the best pieces of news you can get, is that Washington is a non-intervention probate jurisdiction. What that means is the court is not going to be involved with your probate other than issuing the letters testamentary and signing the order that says the will is good and the person is appointed as personal representative. After that, the question is going to be, how do I keep probate costs down? Well, if you're the executor, how you keep probate costs down is that you take seriously your responsibility of finding out all the decedent's assets, providing that information to the attorney, making sure that all tax returns have been filed, looking through all the decedent's documents to make sure that if there are any creditors out there, that they are given notice of the probate so that if they have a valid claim, it can be paid. So it's taking seriously the responsibilities of your job as being the person in charge of carrying out the will as the executor of the will. The main thing that I see as a probate attorney that makes a difference in keeping probate costs down is the executor doing their job, taking it seriously, and doing what is asked by the attorney when it is asked. What causes a probate to be more expensive is when the attorney's office has to repeatedly reach out to the client as a reminder, please provide us that, please provide us this, have you done this, have you done that? You know, we give really clear instructions here at ELG Estate Planning as to what the personal representative's job is and what they're to do. And when we are working with very good personal representatives, we will be able to close the probate probably in about a 6-month period. That's ideal. With the 4 months creditor's claim, that is, you know, about the minimum that the time frame takes. The costs are much lower when we are dealing with a very effective personal representative, perhaps $5,000. It could be that when the person is not as responsive and it takes a lot longer, maybe it takes a year because the personal representative is simply not carrying out their duties, then you can expect your costs are going to be more expensive. They may be closer to $10,000. And there are, you know, certain situations when it goes beyond that, maybe for legitimate reasons, maybe because you have to wait for the tax return to be filed and everything is quiescent and not doing anything, and so the expenses aren't going to be higher. But you know, basically the answer to how do you keep probate costs down and how long does probate take is how you keep probate costs down is that follow the lawyer's instructions and do things that are asked of you as the executor. And that means the probate is not going to take very long at all. It'll be able to conclude right after the creditor's claim, the 4-month notice period ends. All of what I'm talking about now was assuming that there was a good estate plan in place initially, that there was a good, well-written, clear will in place with the right person nominated as the executor. So if you're talking about probates where it's not so clear, where it's a bad will, for example, or where there's no will, you know, it certainly may take longer and may take more money to get it done. But really, a good personal representative, they're also called executors, working with a very experienced, good estate planning and elder law firm can get a probate done in not a long period of time.